So cross-body entangled arm lock, Japanese ude, cross from a cross-body position. There's a couple of things on these mechanics that I like to discuss. Biomechanically, we need to isolate this shoulder. That's the key. And if we can isolate the shoulder and leave the arm in a fixed position, really what we can do to start to intensify and amplify the lock, intensify and amplify are synonyms. All I'm going to do is leave it in a fixed position and pull that elbow proximal to his hip. So I haven't done any torquing or twisting or yarding or grunting or farting or anything like that yet. I'm just working here. So what I like to have guys do is really early focus in on getting control of the wrist and locking that elbow in on the nape of the neck or the side of the neck. And now I'm just trying to alleviate weight, but clearly I would have my weight on him. Now a good cross body, remember we quadrant up the chest and we have our nipple line on our quadrant. So we don't want our center line passing over their center line. We want to be on the near side of the body so that he can't roll me. So with this grip, there's many ways to do this, none of which are wrong. What I first learned was the very typical where you're going to do this kind of, what I think they call it, a paintbrush type of motion with the shift of the hips, which is phenomenal. It's a great way to do it, nothing wrong with it. Against heavier weights, I have a problem with that. I don't want to roll my hip and compromise my control. So I've worked on a couple ways to do this. From here, if I've got good control of that, if I've got good control of that shoulder and it's not loose. So everybody does this, everybody cinches it in. What I do is I roll his wrist away from me, see? There, and now I roll this forward. And now if I do them in tandem, I don't need to change my hips. Right, now my weight would be on him, but for just sake of me talking and being here for a while, I'm not putting it on him. So here and here. Now, so I can do the big paintbrush motion with the hip roll. I can just point my fingers, hey, like that. That's the cool guy, little bongos and circular glasses, beret maybe. And now I can also just hold this in, and I can just bring this whole fixture without doing anything into his, around the horn. Bring that elbow into here. So the nice thing about this is this gets a tap. This gets a tap. That gets 2 taps. So now and I think that's a fair assessment of what they feel like. So now what I'm going to do is how I do this very frequently, especially against heavier weights, is I'll lock in, I'll reverse these, hey, get the bongos going, and then I'll bring this into the side. So when I'm sprawled out, there's the lock. Doesn't take any. There's fixing here, isolating that shoulder, right? That shoulder's, sorry buddy, that shoulder's isolated. It's not loose, and now it doesn't need as much of a compromise of my own position. I can maintain a strong cross body and get a good entangled arm lock against the heavier guy and go from a 1 tap to a 2 tap.